Welcome to FAFSA Film. In this session, I would like to tell you about a touching cat story that went viral. It's about Whiskers, a stray cat, and Ethan, a lonely boy living in an old home. Their friendship faced struggles, rejection, and even a terrible fire that almost tore them apart. But what happened next will truly surprise you. Without further delay, in a quiet American town where the streets were lined with old brick buildings and faded neon signs, there lived a stray cat named Whiskers. His fur, once soft and shining, had grown rough and dirty from years of sleeping under cars and scavenging through garbage cans. His left ear was torn, a mark of countless battles with hunger and with other animals fighting for the same scraps of food. Every morning, Whiskers walked the same path. He would pass the bakery, where the smell of warm bread filled the air, and he would sit near the doorway. People walked past without a glance. Some even kicked their feet in his direction to chase him away. "Shoo, get out of here," they would shout. But Whiskers never hissed back. He simply lowered his head, curled his tail close, and waited. He wasn't waiting for food, though hunger gnawed at him every day. He was waiting for something more, something he couldn't name, something that felt like belonging. One cold afternoon, rain poured from the sky in heavy sheets. Streets emptied quickly as people rushed home under umbrellas. But a boy named Ethan walked slowly, his sneakers soaked, his backpack heavy with wet books. Ethan was only 10 years old, yet he carried the weight of someone much older. His mother had died when he was very young. His father worked long hours at the factory, rarely home before midnight. Ethan often ate dinner alone, did his homework alone, and fell asleep staring at the shadows on his ceiling, wondering why life had to be so quiet. That day, as he trudged past an abandoned car, he heard a faint sound, a weak, desperate meow. Ethan bent down, and there he saw Whiskers, curled into a tight ball, fur-drenched, body trembling violently in the storm. The boy froze. He had seen this cat before, always sitting by the bakery. But today, those yellow eyes looked different. They looked familiar. They looked like his own eyes in the mirror, tired and lonely. Without thinking, Ethan slipped it off his jacket and wrapped it around the shivering cat. "Hey, buddy, it's okay. I got you," he whispered. For the first time in years, Whiskers didn't run from a human hand. He let Ethan pick him up, press him close, and carry him home through the rain. Ethan's house was small, its paint peeling, its roof creaking when the wind blew. Inside, it smelled faintly of old books and dust. But that night, it became something new. For the first time in years, it felt alive. Ethan placed the cat on his bed, drying his fur with an old towel. Whiskers shook himself, spraying drops of water onto the wall. The boy laughed, a sound he hadn't made in weeks. He found a small bowl, filled it with milk, and set it down. Whiskers drank hungrily, his tongue flicking quickly, leaving a tiny white mustache on his fur. Ethan lay down beside him, resting his chin on his hands. "I guess we're the same," he said softly. "You're a stray. I feel like one too." Whiskers purred, a deep rumbling vibration that filled the quiet room. It was the first time Ethan felt truly understood. That night they fell asleep together, two lonely souls who had finally found each other. Days turned into weeks. Whiskers followed Ethan everywhere, to the porch, to the backyard, even waiting near the school until Ethan came home. They became inseparable. The boy had finally found a friend who listened, and the cat had found someone who cared. But one night, disaster struck. Ethan had been reading by candlelight, too tired to notice when his eyes grew heavy. The flame flickered low, then caught on the corner of a paper. In seconds, smoke filled the room. The fire crawled to the curtains, devouring fabric and wood with hungry orange teeth. Ethan coughed in his sleep but didn't wake. Whiskers' ears twitched. He jumped onto the boy's chest, meowing loudly, scratching at his face. Ethan groaned, confused, until the heat burned against his cheek. His eyes flew open. Flames towered beside his bed. Panicked, Ethan grabbed Whiskers and ran screaming into the night. Neighbors rushed from their homes, buckets of water in hand. Sirens wailed in the distance. The fire was stopped before it spread too far. But the story of that night was just beginning. Did you hear? That cat woke him up. That cat saved his life. And for the first time, the town spoke about Whiskers not as a stray, not as a nuisance, but as a hero. The very next morning, the local newspaper printed the headline in bold letters, "Stray Cat Saves Boy from House Fire." A photo showed Ethan hugging Whiskers tightly, soot on his cheeks, relief in his eyes. Suddenly, the cat who once lived in shadows became the pride of the town. The bakery lady who had always chased him away now left warm bread by her doorstep each morning. Children drew pictures of Whiskers in art class, taping them proudly to their lockers. Even the mayor invited Ethan and his cat to City Hall, placing a tiny medal on a ribbon around Whiskers' neck. For the first time in years, the town smiled. Neighbors who rarely spoke began to greet one another. People adopted other strays, inspired by Whiskers' courage. A sense of warmth and kindness spread through the community, all sparked by a single gray cat who once had nothing. But life is ever simple. One morning, Whiskers was gone. Ethan searched every alley, every corner, calling until his throat burned. Posters appeared on lamp posts. The bakery lady wept when Ethan walked by empty-handed. The town felt the loss like a missing heartbeat. A week later, a man rushing to the hospital noticed a gray cat curled on the steps. Word spread quickly, and Ethan ran there in tears. Whiskers was lying quietly, his eyes half closed, as if waiting for someone. Ethan froze. That hospital. It was where his mother had died years ago. Somehow, Whiskers had chosen that exact place, as though he knew, as though he was waiting for the woman Ethan missed most. Ethan knelt, scooping the cat into his arms. "Don't leave me too," he whispered, sobbing into Whiskers' fur. From that day on, the town never called him just Whiskers. They called him the guardian angel. To them, he wasn't just a stray, he was a messenger, sent to remind them of love, of kindness, of hope. Ethan never let him out of his sight again. Every night, Whiskers curled against him, purring softly as if promising to guard his dreams forever. And the town, once silent and divided, now thrived with warmth. All because a boy once noticed a cold, forgotten cat. Sometimes heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they walk on four paws with torn ears and a soft meow. Yet they carry enough love to save not just one life, but an entire town.